Today's topic is dilute. Okay, so we're going to talk about dilutions here. This is really simple stuff. I think you guys already understand the concept of dilution, right? If you take something and you add water to it, you've diluted it. The more water you add, the less concentrated it becomes, or the more dilute, depending on how you want to talk about that. Up here. Looks like we can count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it looks like there's about 17 moles or 17 things dissolved here, right? In this tiny little beaker. Maybe it's a giant beaker. So 17 moles dissolved in this one beaker. When water was added, so all that happened here was we added H2O. Does that change the number of moles? It shouldn't, right? We should be able to count that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I got 17 moles here. Okay. So if I was actually to calculate the molarity, like say that this was 1 liter of solution here, this would be a 17 molar solution, right? This one, it looks like twice as much. So I'm going to say that it's a 2 liter solution. So now we don't have a 17 molar solution anymore, do we? 17 divided by 2, 8.5. 8.5 molar solution. Okay. So if we're going to have an equation for making dilutions, this one's not going to do, this example is not going to do because it's overly simplistic. All right. Here is the equation that we need. MCVC equals MDVD. When I learned it in chemistry class, it was M1V1 equals M2V2, but this is the way your textbook describes it. Basically, on one side of the equation, you take the product of the molarity and the volume. And in this case, the part that I've circled here, this happens to be the concentrated solution that you start with. On the other side, you find the product of the molarity and the volume of the dilution. If you set them equal to each other, you're always going to know 3 of the 4 things, which means you can use really simple algebra steps to solve for the one thing that you don't know. So an example of how we do this might ask something like this. How would we prepare 60 milliliters of 2 molar nitric acid from a stock solution of 4 molar nitric acid? So this is the kind of thing that I have to do when we want to do labs and we need diluted acids, so you guys don't have to dilute them. Basically, though, notice you're given 3 pieces of information. You're given a volume and a molarity, and you're given another molarity. It's your job to figure out which ones go together and which one is separate from the others. Molarity of the concentrate times the volume of the concentrate should be equal to the molarity of the dilution times the volume of the dilution. So if I'm going to plug things in, it looks like the concentrated solution is 4 molar, right? So I'm going to write in for the concentrate 4 molar. We don't know what volume is that we need of that 4 molar volume. We do know that we want a 2 molar, and I'm not putting sig figs in, I apologize for that, times 60 milliliters. Okay. Are you guys following along? Yeah? This is easy, right? 2 times 60, that's going to give me 120. Technically speaking, the units are molar times milliliters. And we got 4 molar times volume still on the left-hand side. Algebra says if we want to get rid of stuff on the left side, since it's being multiplied, we want to divide it. So I'm going to divide by 4 molar on both sides. The 4's cancel, the molars cancel. Heck, the molars cancel on the right side, leaving me with milliliters. So when I find my final answer of volume, it's 120 divided by 4, and that sounds like 30. Okay. So the question is just not asking for an answer of 30 milliliters. It's asking how would you prepare this. So a complete answer. Ooh, question, Matt. Ah, thank you, Matt. All right. I wanted 3 sig figs. I mentioned that in the middle of the problem. I mentioned that at the beginning and then noted that I wasn't using sig figs in the middle. 3 sig figs is what we want. 30.0. Thanks, Matt. Is what we got there. Now the question does ask how would you prepare 60 milliliters? So to answer that, I would take 30 milliliters of my stock and I'd add water until it got up to 60 milliliters worth. 60.0 milliliters worth. Okay.